So we have looked at how to create a store in SolidJS. We also looked at how to bring in our store from a separate file. We have created a store, it's in a separate file, and we have two parameters, count and user. And in this video, we're going to be looking at how to mutate the values in the store, how to change, how to update the values in the store. So let us begin. We're going to be looking at the different methods because Solid stores have different methods with which you can update the store. And some of the methods are based on what you're trying to update. And we're going to be starting from the simplest ones to the more complex ones. In this video, we're simply going to just be updating the count variable. But in later videos, we're going to look at how to update objects, how to update arrays. So let's begin. First, I'm going to create a button just because I want to click something in the user interface and have it trigger the update. So I've created a button and I'm going to set an on-click event on it. So that's good. So on-click event on it. And I'm going to put this counter in an H3 so that it's just big. Very big and visible. This paragraph stuff is too small. So I'm just put it here. Good. Now we can get started. So first we want to update the count. And we're going to be updating it using something called a direct assignment method. We're just going to pick the count and just give it a value and it will update straight up. No fancy stuff. So to update the store, you would always have to call set app store. That's the setter for the store that you created. So we're going to call set app store. And like I said, first we're going to be looking at the direct assignment method. So I'm just going to put some comments here. Let's see. Oh no, that's not it. Yeah, so we say direct assignment. And for direct assignment, we'll pass in our callback to this event as our handler. And we'll call set app store, which is our setter. And this is how the direct assignment syntax works. This is how it works. You just pick the value or the property you want to update. You see, even VS Code is already using IntelliSense to bring it in. We want to update count, so we'll just bring count. No, count. Count. Then you set a comma, and you set it to whatever you want to. You give it the value you want to set it to. You give it whatever value you want to set it to. Yeah, it's straight direct assignment. You say you pick count, and you set it to whatever value you want to set it to. So that's cool. Yeah, let's say we set it to 10. We want to set it to 10. And I'm going to give this button a label called set 10. Set 10. Set 10. I'm going to be adding I don't know, let's not add bootstrap classes. Maybe let's see how the button looks before we see whether we need to add a bootstrap class to kind of make it more nice. So so this is the direct assignment syntax. You simply pick the property, and you give it a value. Pick the property and give it a direct value. Good. So let's see how this works. Let's save it. Let's go to our browser. Now here in our browser we have store demos, and we have our set 10 button. Set 10. It's currently 0. I want to set it to 10. So let's click set 10. Boom. Yeah, just like that. It works. Simple, straightforward. It works. Direct assignment, we set it to 10. So that's how the direct assignment method works. Simple and straightforward. So let's look at another method. So back in VS Code, we're going to be looking at another method. Let me put a break here, because I want to add another button. We're going to look at another method, and this method is what is called the merge method. Merge syntax, or whatever you want to call it. Let me call it syntax. The merge syntax. So the merge syntax. So how does this work? First, let's copy our button, because we want to use a button for that too. Copy our button, put it here. So that's good. We have it in there. But how do we use the merge method? The merge method or merge syntax uses an object to perform the update. So what you do is this. You pass in an object to set store. Pass in an object. So it uses key value pairs to perform the update. So we want to update count. So what we'll simply say is count, colon, and the value we want to set it to. Count, colon, and the value we want to set it to. So what value do we want to set it to? Let's say we want to set it to 15. 1 set to 15, and we call this button set 15. So I want to set it to 15. So this is the merge method. It uses an object. Unlike this that just picks the value and uses a comma and sets it. This picks an object. And one of the beauties of this is for every property at this level, you can update it. Let's say there is a school property here. You can set it like this. Harvard. Yeah, so you can set multiple. So that's one of the benefits of the merge method, but we only want set count, so just stick to that. On set count. Let's save this, and let's save it, and let's check our browser to see what we get. So back in our browser, let's refresh this. Now we have set 15. We have set 10, we have set 15. Now let's click set 15, and boom, it's 15. The merge method works, or the merge syntax. That's how you use the merge syntax. We use an object, we set the value to 15, and now we're getting 15. So that is how to use the merge syntax. Let's look at one more. Now the last one we're going to be looking at is called the callback method. Let me put 2 breaks here so that our buttons have some breathing space between each other. So we're going to be looking at the last one for this video, and that is called the callback method. The callback method. That's called the callback method. So we've seen the direct assignment, we've seen the merge syntax, and now we're going to use the callback method. Now how does the callback method work? Let's get our button again, copy this, put it here, and now let's remove what is inside set app store. Now this is how callback method works. You pick what you want to update, put a comma, and you put a callback. Have a callback. So let's say our count is C. Yeah. So the callback takes the current value of count, which is this C, current value of count, and you can set it to a function, and the function can do whatever update you want. Yeah, it can do whatever update you want. You can define whatever update you want in this callback function. Now, these are 2 benefits of the callback method. First, you have a hold or a reference to the previous value or the current value, so to speak. And also, you can perform logic. You can perform some logic based on what you want to, how you want to update the value. Probably it's dependent on some state variable or stuff like that. You can just perform your custom logic in here. I just want to increment it by 1. So whatever is the previous value, I want to increment it by 1. So let's call this increment by 1. So we have increment by 1. Now I want you to take note of all these methods because we're going to be using a combination of them for updating our objects and our arrays. Later on, we're going to be seeing something called the path syntax, and that's going to be using the combination of merge or callback, direct assignment and stuff. It's just going to be using a combination of any of them. So we'll save this. Now let's go to our browser. So here in our browser, you see my breaks have given us more breathing space between these buttons. So we have 0, which is the default value of count. Store demo is on, and now we are going to be testing out our increment by 1 button, which is going to be incrementing our count variable by 1. So let's click that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's able to do this because it has a handle on the current value, so it can perform logic on the current value. So that's the callback method. Those are the 3 methods we're going to be looking at. This uses the direct assignment method, sets it to 10. This uses the merge method, merge syntax, sets it to 15. And this guy simply increments it by 1 each time. Increments the current value by 1. So that's how you update primitives, direct assignment, merge, and the callback method. In the next video, we are going to be looking at how to update objects.